With us today, we have Joseph Loughran, our Marketing Vice President. We also have a special guest speaker, Ted Fravel from AIG, and he's one of our internal wholesalers there. Now, Ted's forte and his specialty is really all about living benefits with life insurance. And, you know, that is it's a very hot topic lately, and it's a great door opener. And what we love about it here at Levinson is, you know, we have thousands of agents across the country, and obviously everyone is looking for a new idea, product, solution to go out and tell their story to new prospects. That's the name of the game. And we understand that, and it's our job to try to find new ideas, concepts, programs, products, carriers, so you can go out and tell a new story. And this whole idea or topic of the new type of life insurance compared to the old kind of life insurance is such a great way to spark interest. And the way that we like to spin it is the new life insurance pays you, the client, while you're still living, okay? Because let's face it, nobody wants to talk about traditional life insurance, a 20-year term, and person has to die, and then their wife or spouse or breadwinner receives the death benefit. It's just one of those topics that people don't like to talk about. They know they need the coverage, but it just doesn't excite them. Usually it's a wife or spouse that likes to bring it up on the other person. So with the new kind of life insurance, this is a product and or rider that the client can benefit from, being the policy owner and without dying. So people want to hear about this, and it's a great way for you to go back to your existing book of business and start a new conversation. It's a new chance to tell your story, and we're all out there looking for things to spark new interest. So great ideas here today. I love Ted's story, so that's why we wanted to feature him. They have some great products and riders that he's going to focus on, so you're going to get to hear his story in just a few more minutes here. And the whole point of today's call is when you're done with the call in about 40 minutes, you will be able to use some of these ideas and start to make new sales. So that's the name of the game with today's webinar. Me and Joe are going to talk about some bullets, and we have a few new tools that we're going to mention. A new Facebook life quoter, which is really neat. So now, and we're going to talk about this in a second, but if you have a Facebook page or you want to create your own business Facebook page, we have a new button that has a built-in life quoter, so your clients can go on and run an instant life insurance quote, and then the best part is it's a lead capture system, so you get an email instantly that says, hey, Bill Levinson just ran a life insurance quote on your Facebook page. So great new technology from Levinson. We'll talk about that in just a few more minutes here. So the webinar agenda, we're going to start off with why Levinson and Associates, why we're not just another Me Too life insurance agency, and why we're different, why we know it's our job to go out and find new tools, new programs that are going to make our agents more successful. We're going to go over a few no-cost tools and platforms that are available to you. And then last and not least, we're going to introduce Ted, and he's going to go over our living benefit riders and products from AIG. Joe's going to mention some of our upcoming training webinars, and then he's going to highlight some of the new tools that we have that are available on our iGenius platform, and then we'll dive right into the presentation. Joe?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. So as usual, our webinar sessions are recorded. They're going to be posted to our Levinson YouTube channel this afternoon. Of course, everybody on today's call will receive an email this afternoon with all the material that we've covered, including links to actually register for all these upcoming webinars. So I just wanted to touch base on some of the upcoming webinars for not only the rest of this week, but early next week. On Thursday, which is tomorrow, of course, we have a webinar at 11 a.m. Eastern talking about disability income and the underwriting process. That's really an entry-level webinar to DI products. Friday of this week at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, we have a complete webinar training session on the Phoenix Agent website to include illustration software, product material, marketing support. That, again, is at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And then Monday, which is the 15th, We actually have a webinar at 2 p.m. covering our e-policy delivery platform. If you're not familiar with that or the e-application system, I highly recommend taking just that half an hour to go over the e-policy delivery platform. You can literally deliver your policies and have them placed in force the same day they get approved. So you're going to save about a week and a half to 2 weeks off the entire policy cycle time just by attending and learning how to use that specific system on that webinar. And then Thursday of next week, which is the 18th, we have a brand new final expense lead program that's exclusive to Levinson & Associates agents. That is at 2 p.m. Eastern. We will send out a formal email blast with that registration link, but that is definitely something, if you have final expense clients, you're interested in generating more leads in that type of environment, that webinar is going to be great. It's going to run for about 30, 40 minutes. We cover the top final expense products and this new exclusive lead program. You can also visit the training calendar on CarrieLevinson.com to register for any one of these webinar sessions. We've got about 75 different recordings that are available 24/7, so you can watch all these previous webinars that we've had. We talk about the iGenius platform. We're going to dive into a couple tools. One thing I do want to mention, I know there's a lot of information on the screen. We're not going to go through every single bullet, but one thing I want to stress is the full back office support that we provide to every single agent that we work with. So if you have any questions on any of the products we covered today, the material, maybe you want to obtain some of the marketing pieces that we're going to be covering, all you have to do is reach out to our office. We have 15 full-time life and Moody long-term care experts at your fingertips until 7 p.m. Eastern. So everything we're covering today, everything that's included on this slide, you can reach out to our marketing team at the office here, and we're more than happy to answer any questions that you have and to help you take advantage of every single one of these tools, because, again, this entire iGenius platform that you're looking at is available at absolutely no cost. We don't reduce commissions. We don't make you give up commissions. We don't charge you any fee for this. It's just there to actually help you produce more business and generate more leads and more sales.
Yeah, and just so you can kind of put all the pieces together, it's our mindset and philosophy that we want to be looked at as a captive type agency, like in the old days when, let's say, a young person would come out of high school or college and they would go work for a MetLife, and they had a back office and secretary and leads and different sales programs. We want to be looked at just like that, but on the plus side, obviously, you remain 100% independent and you can contract with whoever you want. But all of those tools and that captive mindset is what makes us unique and what makes us different than the IMO or general agency next door that just offers great commissions, great products, great service, because we know it takes more than that. Okay, that might have worked in the 80s and 90s, but it's a different world now, and we get that. So this is a no-brainer here. If you can make it, we're having our annual Agent Expo. Okay, we're announcing our 2015 Expo, which is going to be April 24th in 2015, a day you do not want to miss. And basically, the emphasis of the day is built around our agents and new sales ideas and concepts that you can use that evening when you get home. So we picked a beautiful beachfront location in South Florida, and it literally is a full 9 to 5 day. We bring in breakfast, lunch, snacks. We have our top carriers. In fact, AIG will be there, our top underwriters, VPs from across the country. We bring in a keynote motivational speaker that speaks at the end of the day. And in the past, we featured some great speakers. So it's just really going to be a day built around you, and it's a day you don't want to miss if you want to succeed and grow your business in the life insurance world. So don't miss that. We have qualifications starting at just $15,000, so you can get a free night at our beachfront location, and you have a chance to get free round-trip airfare and up to 2 free nights at our beachfront location. All life, annuity, long-term care, critical illness, all premium counts towards those qualification levels. Okay, so some of our no-cost mobile tools that everybody should be using. The first one is our quote engine. That this is accessible on any smartphone, tablet, iPad. It doesn't make a difference. everyone should have our Levinson app quote engine. It's so simple. I suggest, obviously, second you meet somebody new, you tell them what you do. Typically, the first response is, oh my gosh, I always thought life insurance was so expensive. You now can turn your phone around and show them, hey, for a 42-year-old, $100,000, 20-year term is only $13 a month, and here I can email you this quote. And if they want to sign up, you can literally pull up a drop ticket from your cell phone, answer a few questions, hit submit, and you just sign them up with your iPhone or any smartphone device. On the bottom there, this is our mobile CRM tool and business card scanner. Excuse me. Now, the way this works, as soon as you meet that same person and you give out your business card, you're also receiving their business card, okay? You take a picture with your iPhone or smartphone, and what happens is all of that information from the business card gets inputted as a new contact on your cell phone, and it gets thrown into a follow-up folder on this Me Again application. What happens instantly is this person you just met gets a welcome email from you. Then they get an invite to your Facebook, your LinkedIn, and Twitter accounts. So within, say, 10, 15 minutes, okay, let's say they keep, if you're at a football game or whatever the case is, 10, 15 minutes later, they go up and go to the bathroom. They're looking at their cell phone. Next thing you know, they're getting 4 different emails from Bill Levinson saying, hey, nice to meet you. I'm the local life insurance agent. And they're getting invites to all of your social media accounts. So what is that doing? It's keeping your name in front of these prospects. So a month later, when you forgot who you ran into at the supermarket, okay, everything is sitting right in your follow-up folder, and they're getting monthly emails from you, like it or not. So this is a great system for you to keep your name in front of all your prospects and clients, and it just helps keep you organized. This is free to all active Levinson agents. Okay, moving forward here, we just had a full-page ad in the latest edition of Broker World magazine, and the ad focuses on our Lightning Issue Term product, which we own the trademark on. We developed this product, and it's basically all about using today's technology. And the way it works is you get appointed, and then you get a custom link that's custom to you, say BillLevinson.com/lightning term. What happens is you take that link and you can email blast it out. You can put it on your website, on your Facebook page. And the way it works is there's a button that says Get Quote Here for instant approval term life insurance. The client clicks the button, runs a quote, and then it says Apply Here. And there's another button. A one-page app comes up. There's 3 medical questions. Your client hits Submit. They get an instant approval. The policy gets mailed directly to your client within 48 hours with a free $5,000 scholarship. It's that simple, and 0 agent involvement, which means the client does everything, and this is a no-brainer. It's the only product that works like this today. So definitely get on board with Lightning Issue Term. On the right side is our exclusive University Plus product. Basically, we've all heard of this Gerber GROA plan. Okay, it's the same concept, same mindset. The plus is our product is non-MEC, which means when that $20,000 comes out, okay, when Johnny's ready to go to college, with the Gerber plan, that's a taxable event. With University Plus, that 20 grand comes out tax-free. Plus, you get a 1 free year scholarship on top of the $20,000. Plus, our product can go on forever as long as the client wants to keep paying the premium. It's not an endowment contract. So that's a huge plus. That's University Plus. We have rate cards that we put together that we can mail or email to you. Just let us know. That's called University Plus by Levinson & Associates. Okay, next up here, we have our social media packages that we put together. Very, very important these days. I don't care what company it is, how big the company is, everything, commercials and emails and websites, you're seeing little icons on the bottom that say, come visit our Facebook, our LinkedIn, and Twitter pages. Everything is social media, like it or not, folks. This is the way the future is moving. So what we did is we made some neat adjustments, okay, to your own Facebook pages. So if you already have a Facebook page, okay, what we did is we developed a new tab that says Life Quoter. You can see it there on the top. It says Agency Information. Okay, there's a new button that says Life Quoter, which you can have on your own Facebook page, which allows all of your friends and clients and prospects to go on your Facebook page and they can run quotes instantly. And the best part is, as soon as they run a quote, you get an email that says, hey, Lisa Smith just ran a Banner Life or AIG term quote, and then you get a chance to pick up the phone, call Lisa while she's still on your Facebook page, and you can make the sale instantly with an e-application. So this is a no-brainer. If you don't have a Facebook page, we have packages that we can help you get up and running. There's no reason to not use these tools and technology. I don't care if you're 18 or 78. There's no excuse, and we're here to hold your hand and show you the way. Joe's going to talk about our email blast marketing tool, and then we're going to dive right into our living benefits presentation. Joe?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. So we're going to be covering a lot of neat products today, especially once we introduce TED. We're going to talk about a lot of great riders, things you can add on and actually reach out to your clients to have a conversation about. So one thing I want to talk about is this brand new email marketing tool that we've introduced to every single one of our agents. We've partnered with an industry-leading email marketing firm to bring you another no-cost tool to stay in touch with those clients. So not only can you actually create an email template, you can choose from any one of our email templates, especially if, let's say, for example, after today's webinar, we learn about all these neat living benefit riders, and we have a group of clients that you think would be interested in this. You can actually get started with this email marketing tool, build your list of clients, pick an email template that specifically talks about today's living benefit riders and those specific products, and then send that out either through your social media page or this email marketing tool. And the best part is you can even track those results to see if you sent it to maybe 100 clients, you can actually see which clients clicked on that email template, which clients requested more information. So you're able to use this email marketing tool and really get smart with all of your marketing efforts, so you're not just flying blind. You can specifically see which clients are interested in each topic. So that brings your marketing to a whole new level. The best part is this doesn't cost you anything. We'll work with you if there's templates you want to create, or maybe something that has to do with maybe an advanced marketing campaign. We can create any template that you can think of. Again, that's another no-cost tool that's available. It's just going to generate more sales opportunities for you in the field and with any client or prospect you've ever spoken to. My next slide is on the living benefits section of CarrieLevinson.com. Of course, we'll be emailing out the link this afternoon, but I want to just let everybody know that we do have a section of our website underneath the Products tab. I've highlighted the Living Benefits section. There you can access all the living benefit sales concepts, the quotes, the rating tools, not only the marketing material, client brochures, but also presentation material, things that you can bring to your clients. You can discuss all these different products, all these different added benefits that have to do with not only the products we're talking about today, but all the living benefits that are available in the industry.
Okay, Joe, thank you. Okay, so we're going to take a second here just to go over some of these bullets that you're about to hear about with our presentation from TED. So living benefits, making the sale with the new type of life insurance. I love that saying, the new life insurance that pays while you're still alive. Okay, great hook, great sizzle. We're going to talk about some new products that are going to give you the edge over your competition. Again, it's always about setting yourself apart from your competition. Everyone is talking about the same old story. If it's final expense or mortgage protection, term life, whole life, okay, this is a new way to create sizzle, okay? Gain customers for life. The best part is these policies stay in force because once the client has a certain amount of premium in, it's just a matter of time before they start to pay out because, again, the trigger is a living benefit rather than death benefit that pays upon death. So great pluses there. Without further ado, I want to take a second to introduce Ted Fravel, who is our AIG internal wholesaler, and we have a very special relationship with AIG and Ted, so we're delighted to have him join us today. Without further ado, we'll introduce Ted. You there?
I'm here.
Thank you, Ted.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much, Bill and Joe. Great to be here today, and real happy to speak to, God, it looks like 35 or so agents on the call. And you know, our goal as a carrier, obviously, is not only to create relationships with the BGAs and agencies like Bill and his staff, but moreover, get in front of agents and tell the story too. It's one of our joys here and what we strive for. And Bill and Joe, you set me up perfectly here as far as the industry and the new life insurance way of approach of selling life insurance to your existing clients and new clients. So you're right. Living benefits are the latest and greatest. They are the hot topic that every carrier is looking to add to their portfolio to help agents and agencies add value. Most carriers will have a chronic, and you'll see critical out there and DI out there, and everyone's got their versions of it, which is fantastic. We took a long, hard look at the market, and we were, I don't want to say we were a me too, but we took a long, hard look and really wanted to do it right. We wanted to come out with something that no one else could offer, no one else was doing, no one else was looking at the market and creating a comprehensive financial plan for your clients. So what I want to do today is really talk about, again, what no other carrier can offer, but no other carrier is talking about, and it's surprising to me. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the cost differential, and is it worth it? Is that extra premium for those living benefit riders worth it? And to keep you guys on the phone, my last slide will be a little incentive for you if you start selling this with us, a way to win a 2-year lease for a BMW 5. So if anything, stay on to the end to hear about that and how you could a chance to win that. We're giving away two leases for 2 years to agents that qualify. So let's look at how life insurance was sold, and Bill and Joe both touched on it. Man, it was boring. You know, as an agent out there, was sitting on a table, and it was talking about the pre-retirement needs. You know, what happens if, again, you die too soon is the best way to put it. What happens if you have a family, you're still working, you're in your working years, you're still paying a mortgage, you haven't retired yet. That was the way life insurance was sold. It was sold with term insurance. You know, you wanted term coverage for covering the cost of kids going to college. You wanted to pay off that mortgage if you happen to die too soon. That income replacement was a huge factor. If you die too soon, what happened to the spouse if the spouse wasn't working? All traditionally sold with term insurance. Me, for example, I'm 42. I have a daughter. I have actually, believe it or not, twins on the way. So again, please send me business because I need it now. But you know, I realized that I do have multiple needs. So when my first son was born, I bought a bunch of term insurance. My daughter was born. I bought another term policy and an IUL policy. So I understand those pre-retirement needs. And unfortunately, that was all pre the idea that what happens after retirement. Those risks will get larger over time. You know, as I approach retirement, that mortgage will be paid off. My kids will be off to college and hopefully either get a scholarship or find some way to pay for it. And as I approach retirement, no longer is that big need for income replacement. But one thing that does increase as I approach retirement, the reduced Social Security income. What happens if my spouse dies and that one income from Social Security is now gone? We know healthcare is not getting any cheaper for sure, and all these financial risks that we've seen in the past, 6, 7, 8 years, they're not going away. There's debt. There's the question of, is your portfolio funded well enough? Is there going to be another market reset like we saw back in 2008? Interest rates, where are they going? We don't know. So all these risks that are uncertain certainly will increase as you get into and get older through those retirement years. So at AIG, what we did was we took a look at that previous slide. We took a look at all those risks that will happen to you over the course of your lifetime, And really, it's pretty simple. It's broken down into three categories. Chances are good you're going to die, and you may die too soon. And again, that was that term sale, that pre-retirement term sale, that you may die too soon. So it's a fear. If you don't die too soon, there's a certainty that you might become chronically ill. You might have loss of 2 of the 6 ADLs. You might have Alzheimer's or another permanent cognitive impairment that may prohibit you from working, and also need extra income to facilitate those expenses. And if you don't die too soon, you don't become seriously ill, and you have longevity on your side, the fear of outliving your retirement assets are certainly a huge concern. Matter of fact, there was a recent poll done back in 2011 that more people were worried and feared outliving their retirement assets and not having enough money to live on than actually of dying. So what we did, again, we looked at 3 things that would happen in your lifetime, and we created a comprehensive package called the AG Asset Protector, and that is a marketing name that we've created. It is a based GUL policy, and on it, it's a suite of riders called the Asset Protector, and in those riders is the chronic rider, which will protect you from becoming seriously ill, and we call it the Accelerated Access Solution, or the AAS for short. If you outlive your retirement assets, we've created a rider called the Lifestyle Income Solution, which is an acceleration of the death benefit at the age of 85. I'll get into all the specifics and the specs of that, but again, it's called the AG Asset Protector. So let's get into it. First slide here. I love these animations. First slide here, what we're going to talk about is the base policy in itself. It's the dying too soon aspect, the fear of dying in those pre-retirement years, the 45 to 65 time frame. That is what the base policy covers. Of course, anywhere along the way, if you die, the benefit will pay out, but the idea is what happens if you die too soon. Instead of selling a term policy, the idea is to look at this. So the base GUL policy, everyone's got them out there. But ours is a little unique. So let's discuss how ours is different from the other marketplace. Now, I'm not a fan of this slide per se, why the marketing folks created a pyramid to this, but it tells the story in itself. Like most GULs, it's guaranteed premium and guaranteed death benefits. You pay your premiums on time, we'll pay you a death benefit, and that's guaranteed. What differentiates us is 2 things. We have guaranteed cash value in our base GUL policy. There's no cost to it. It is priced into the policy, a very competitive price, I might add. But the guaranteed cash value, the so what of that is, you know, everyone sold term for life, the GULs with no cash value. And that was great. It solved the need. But what happens 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road, when you have an emergency cash value need? What happens if something bigger, better, stronger comes out for a product? What happens if you need a new roof or a new furnace or any of these needs that might come up, or even a reduction of need, or you can't afford the insurance? There's a suite of needs and circumstances that would come up that in a regular GUL policy. If you have it, you're basically starting from scratch. You don't have any cash, and you are starting over from ground zero. Our guaranteed cash value, at any point in time, you can access that guaranteed cash, and any percentage you take out of the policy, it's a systematic pro rata reduction to the policy. So easy math, you have $100,000 of guaranteed cash. You pull out $50K, you now have $50,000. If your original face was $1 million, your face is now $500K. And oh, by the way, your premiums are also reduced pro rata. So if you were paying 20 grand, you're now paying 10 grand. No one else is offering that in the market right now. So a true differentiator for us. There are 1 or 2 carriers that do offer an ROP, but I want to speak to it. If at any point in the 20th year there's a 60-day window where the insured can walk away from the policy, surrender it, and walk away, and regardless of the cash value in the policy, as long as it's enforced and there's no loans against it, they get 1/2 of their money back to walk away from it. Again, there's a couple carriers out there that have it, or versions of it, but you know, very unique, certainly to at least mention to your client. And what I'll mention in the top rung there is there's a second chance to get all of your money back when you turn age 85. again, unique to us on that. So here's a simple illustration, and this simply points out people like to see numbers on paper. I have a lot of agents and agencies that love PowerPoints and get it, but rather see a screenshot of an illustration. So you can just see here this particular insured, he was paying $15,000 a year. He took the policy out when he was 55 years old. At age 75, he may no longer need the policy. Needs have changed. He can walk away from the policy. And you can see that he had $35,000 of cash value in the policy. However, if he surrendered the policy, he would get 1/2 of the premiums back, so 1/2 would be $150K to walk away from the policy. All right. So again, just want to touch on some of the base features of the GUL that you may not be aware of. So if you do spreadsheet us, I think most BGAs are kind of out of that because they are trying to add value. But if you are looking for the cheapest, it doesn't always tell the full story if you see AG at 2 or 4 or 10% more expensive on the base policy. It's worth noting for sure. All right, so that's the base policy. What happens if you get sick along the way? Anyone that's selling living benefits are pretty much familiar with the basics. It's a 101G rider, which means a couple things. There's no LTC license necessary. There are rumblings, once California approves it, that there might be a CE certification needed. But aside from that, there is no LTC license needed. The 101G also states that you must have a deemed permanent condition, and that's on an annual certification. And what that means is if you lose 2 of the 6 ADLs or have a severe cognitive impairment, we will pay out according to your elections on the policy, which I'll get into in a second as well. All right, it is an indemnity rider, no receipts. You can do anything with it. We don't care. We don't ask. All right. Now, again, I want to talk about some of the differentiators. Again, everyone's got their own version of chronic, so nothing new as far as how it works. Excuse me. But some of the flexible and differentiators that AIG has compared to our competitors, if you're selling, you know that most will offer 100% of the death benefit, in whatever percentage you choose, 2 or 4%. We allow anywhere from 50 to 100% of the death benefit. So you can choose 50, 60, 55, 80, 85. That's elected at issue. So we're very flexible there. Minimum face amount and benefit you can get is $50K, and the maximum is $1.5 million. All right, another thing I want to point out that's different with us than other carriers. Everyone's got a 2% that's selling chronic. That is pretty much standard in the industry. Most will have a 4% per month benefit. What's different with us that no other carrier is offering right now is the IRS per diem. So that is the inflation hedge. Right now, and I'm rounding up, right now you're looking at $10,000 a month for the IRS per diem, and that will grow over time. It's growing at, I think, at $10 a month. So if you're 45 today and you get chronically ill at age 65 and you chose this benefit, whatever the per diem at age 65 is, that is what you get. So definitely different with us. All right. Now, of course, the bad news, but the underwriting side of it is that it's not automatic. There is underwriting on the front side. A lot of carriers do the underwriting on the back side, and that's all well and good, but the unfortunate part of that is with the underwriting on the back side is there is no known guaranteed amount. You don't know what you're getting. The carrier tells you what you're getting. So if you file a claim for $100K, the carrier comes back and says, well, yeah, that's fine and good, but your mortality hasn't decreased that much. We're going to give you $25K. And, oh, hey, by the way, if you accept it, we're going to still dock you or ding you $100K. If it works, that's how a lot of carriers do sell it. I can't get behind that story. I like knowing what I'm getting up front. So, again, underwriting up front, there is a cost to the rider, but at issue, 100% guaranteed if you become chronically ill, what you're going to get every month for X number of years. So I can get behind that story. Again, I'm glad we waited and did it this way as opposed to the the other way of not knowing. One thing with this application, I get questions on this quite a bit, and it's very small, so I apologize if you can't see it. But I do get questions quite a bit. What happens if you do get declined for chronic? Can you still get life insurance? The answer is yes. Getting declined for the chronic rider doesn't preclude you from life insurance. You may have a table rating or a flat extra on your life insurance policy, for whatever the medical department deems, but it does not preclude you from getting life insurance. And we will issue the chronic rider up to a table 4 on our base policy. All right, just again, some of the things that do pop up. All right, so you didn't die too soon. You're kicking along. You didn't get sick. You're still very, very healthy. But what happens if now you outlived your retirement assets? Somewhere in the last, say, 20, 30 years, there's a market reset. Maybe your portfolio wasn't funded well enough. Maybe you had spent way too much in the first few years. Interest rates didn't rebound. Any of the above can contribute to living too long. What happens if you're 85 and you've run out of money? This is the backstop to retirement idea. Excuse me. And this is the slide I mentioned to you earlier, that 61% are more fearful of outliving their assets than they are of actual death. And the frightening part is almost half of the Americans have not planned for a backstop to outliving their assets. All right, so I mentioned these already. I'll go through them once more. What can contribute to outliving your retirement assets? Large amounts of debt, historical low interest rates, any more of the corrections in the stock market. We all took a hit back in 08. The rising income tax rates, the Social Security uncertainty, both will it still be there? I mean, I'm 42. Is it going to be there in 23 years? We don't know. I mentioned, again, on a previous slide, that loss of income when the first spouse dies. It's a huge fear. Healthcare costs are not getting cheaper. They're getting more expensive. Again, with healthcare, it's also getting better, so it's prolonging longevity. People are living longer because healthcare is getting better. Simple didn't save enough is a huge fear. And last, and this gets a big laugh in the South, is the political uncertainty. All right, so given those fears, what happens? How can you protect yourself from outliving your assets? You can add the asset protector, and again, within that is the lifestyle income solution rider. At the age of 85, you can accelerate up to 10% of the death benefit per year. And the only requirement is, well, there's two, but one is not listed here. It's enforced for 15 years. And second, you live to age 85. There's no triggers. There's no health triggers. Nothing but living to 85, and the policy is enforced for 15 years. Now, one of the things I mentioned here, I'm going to kind of go back to a previous slide, is the 100% ROP at age 85. And I don't know if it's on this slide, so I apologize. It is. It is tax-free up to basis, then taxed as ordinary income there afterwards. So essentially what I see a lot in a lot of these designs that I get calls on is, can you show me just getting my basis back? And we can. It's a two-step process that we can illustrate here internally. But we can show basis back. And if you don't take your full death benefit out as income, there is residual DB guaranteed to age 100. So that's the idea. If you just want your basis back, you'll have a residual leftover DB. So if you pay 300 grand in, you take 300 grand out, you have a guaranteed policy of 700 grand to age 100. All right, and again, people like to see the numbers on paper. This is what you'll see when we generate an illustration for you out in the field. This is on the supplemental pages of the illustration. You can see that you paid $438 in and guaranteed income coming out for 10 years, exhausting the full million. Excuse me. And this is a little rudimentary, but you can see right around year 4 or so, between 4 and 5, is your return of basis. So you'll have a paid-up policy of $600,000 if you stop taking out income right there. So the numbers you hear don't illustrate that. The numbers here illustrate taking out the full income to age 100. But again, just to know, if you stop taking out income right here, whatever your residual DB is at this point will be guaranteed to 100. All right, and Bill and Joe touched on this, revolutionize the way you sell life insurance. You know, I have a lot of agents that actually stopped selling this as life insurance. They're selling it as a totally complete financial package for their insureds. The illustration says it all. This is a dynamic image that will print out on each illustration. It's on page 4 or 5 of the illustration, and you can see exactly the rider in motion. You can see if you die too soon, we'll pay out the full $1 million. This person chose a 4% on their chronic, so you can see how much it's paying out over 8.5 years. I'm sorry, 2%. And on the lifestyle income solution, you can see it's $100,000 every year for 10 years. So this illustration really says it all for your client. All right, so next question we got is it worth the extra premium? That is the big question. Let me go through a quick slide with you guys here. And let's not be crazy on this. Let's call this male 55. He's not preferred best. I know all your clients are preferred best, but let's call him standard plus to be conservative. And let's say he has a need for $1 million of death benefit. Is it worth the extra money? This slide's a little busy, but what I'm going to do is take this in columns. This client of yours, he says, hey, I want a guaranteed $1 million to age 100. I can invest the difference. He chooses not to get the asset protector. So in the first column, we can see that a guaranteed policy for him is $13,751 to age 100. That is just the base policy. That is no riders. Jumping to the last column, if you were to choose the asset protector, his premiums would be $18,073. It's a you know, healthy difference in premium of $4,322. He says to you, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Agent, I can take that $4,332. I can invest that difference, and I can do much better. And you say, okay, well, let's do the math on this one. And again, taking a 55-year-old male, and we're going to call it a conservative growth year over year of 6% and a 20% tax rate. In 30 years, your client is going to have $290,000 or $35,000 a year. Now, if you were to invest that for $4,332, and he wanted $1 million at age 85, he would need a pre-tax equivalent return of 14% and change year over year. and good luck with that. And if you find that, call me up because I want that investment. Going to the next slide or next column. The client knows, and is very smart. He's got longevity on his side. He knows that if he pays a little more upfront and he short pays this to age 85, anything thereafterwards, at some point there's going to be a crossover of cumulative premiums paid. In this instance, it's going to be around age 87. It doesn't show that here, but he's going to short pay this and pay it over 30 years. It's a little more upfront, but again, once he hits 87, his break-even point is there, and he's saving $13,000 a year every year thereafter. So again, this client says, I can invest the difference and do better. He did not buy the asset protector, and the difference between the GUL to age 85 and the asset protector to 85 is $3,595. Again, same growth of 6%, 20% tax margin, and you're looking at $240,000 at the age of 85, or $29,000 a year every year thereafterwards. And oh, hey, by the way, if you wanted to invest that, you would need 15.18% to equal $1 million. So you go through the math with them and say, hey, for a small difference, you can invest that and have great and have, you know, some flexibility. You can maybe buy LTC. You can't predict future premiums, or you pay the difference in premium. And with the AG asset protector, you're paying a little more up front. You're paying $18,000 a year. You have $1 million if you get sick to draw down, or you have $1 million at the age of 85 to draw down, which is, again, $100,000 a year. So the question is the difference in premium, you know, worth it? The answer is, if they can afford it, yeah, 100% worth it. I really do think the small difference is is a true story, is right in this slide. So what are the next steps for you guys? You know, my idea, and Bill said it best, is go through your existing block of business. Who bought LTC recently? Who bought a GUL recently? Who can afford this policy within your block of business? Give them a call. Go through the numbers and show them some illustrations. Get off that spreadsheet if you're on that spreadsheet and add some value to your clients. They're looking to you. They don't know what's going to happen post-retirement, and they're looking to you for decisions. So again, is it worth it? Absolutely. If you can afford it, I say go for it. So I mentioned to you at the close of this, I'm going to go through a little sales contest we're running here. And then I'm going to do a couple more slides, and I'm going to turn it back over to Bill and Joe. But this is the contest we're running right now. It started October 1st. It's running through January 31st of 2015. It's pretty simple. You sell any permanent product with us, IUL, UL, doesn't matter. Any product with us, you get 1 point to your credit. If you sell either the AG Secure Lifetime GUL, which is the one we just discussed, or the Elite Index 2, which is our flagship IUL, and you add the chronic rider, you get 3 points. Excuse me. Or if you sell the AG Secure Lifetime GUL and you added both riders, again, we just discussed this, you add both riders on there, you get 5 points. For every 5 points, we'll stick a ticket in a hat for you, and somewhere in, I think it's February, we'll draw, actually, no, I'm sorry, somewhere in April, we'll draw 2 names out of a hat to win 2 prepaid leases for 2 years on a BMW 5. If anything, gosh, go out and sell some permanent products with us. So that's our sales contest. 2 last things I want to mention while I do have you on the phone. We do have that full suite of products. Of course, we have GUL, IUL, term. We have a new VUL coming out in a few weeks. Be on the lookout for that. But also, we do have, and this is not my department, but we do have standalone A&H products. So if you want to sell a standalone DI or a standalone critical policy or a standalone accident policy, we do have those too. And you can certainly call Bill and Joe on those products, and they'll be glad to get you in touch with our A&H folks here. And the last slide I want to do, and I'd be remiss not mentioning this. This slide is retirestronger.com. It's our microsite. Again, retirestronger.com. We launched this in January of this year. It is very compact. There literally is only 5 or 6 clicks to get through the entire thing. This homepage right here, everything you see here is consumer friendly. So if you're looking for graphics on living too long or getting sick along the way, and the percentages for that, they're available on here. But everything I discussed today is in the For Producers section. There's PowerPoints available. There is training videos available. There is different sales concepts and ideas available. But one of the things that I want to bring up is audio as well. I know a lot of you guys are driving around in your cars, and it's really hard to sit there and open up your laptop or your iPad. We do have audio downloads too that you can just listen to, and it's 9 or 10 minutes out of your day just to listen through, and the audio is the same content as all of our videos. So great site, again, retirestronger.com. You'll find some cool sales ideas. We're adding stuff, every quarter. We added recently the wealth transfer idea of what happens to IRAs when they transfer to beneficiaries, and how you solve the tax problem with that. Real cool idea for sure. It's the tax offset, tax elimination strategy, and we walk you through exactly how you do that and how you do that with life insurance. So I do thank you for your time. Any questions? I'm sure Bill or Joe are available. I'm here as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ted. Great job. That was great information. And, it's so important for all of us to keep, learning about any new concepts, ideas, tools, technology. I know I preach it over and over, but it's just so important, especially with the way that things are changing lately. I've been in the business now since I was 22. I'm now 38, and you know, things have changed so fast. And I just feel that, you know, it's our job to go out and hold your hand and show you the way and bring these new concepts to the surface so our agents can understand what's going on out there. So today's presentation was just part of that whole that product suite or concepts, if you will. So I hope you walked away with something that was great stuff. We're going to send out an email to everybody that was on the call. We'll include brochures and templates so you can start to email blast this stuff out and talk about it with your clients today. If there are any other questions, of course, call us or email us after